Hello, hello, hello. Dwayne Taylor here. Welcome to another episode of The Lab. This is session number 4. We're going to 100 lab sessions. Challenge to myself. And this one is inspired by my mentor, Mr. Dalco. He put a challenge out to some of us leaders in my group in my Care Bars business and our team Wealth Builders Worldwide. So this is a challenge just to present something to the world and to the team. So I call this one the pursuit of the rhythm of your happiness. And this conversation is coming based on previous conversations in our power calls that we have every day. But a lot of the conversations have been led towards words, thoughts, you creating your life. So I'm gonna follow in that vein. And just what is it that we're really striving for? What are you really after? What is it that you really choose to accomplish in this life? Because that's what it really comes down to. You know, a lot of times we're always chasing after this or chasing after that, but what is it that we're really chasing? What is it that we're really going after? What is it in life that it is that we're really wanting? And I think at the end of the day, right, it all boils down to happiness, pretty much. But here's the thing. We're chasing happiness when we can be happiness. So we're out here in this external world, and I'm a little chilly today because it's a brisk morning here in Atlanta, Georgia. So it sounds like I'm shivering a little bit, but I don't want to be in the house doing this. So, but the things that we're out here chasing externally to bring an internal happiness will never happen. And I think that's where the frustration comes in for a lot of people, because they're chasing external gratification for something that can only be healed or resolved on an internal level. And you know, it's so funny when when we get in conversations and we start talking about life and we start talking about quote unquote those deeper things. It always amazes me how people get not offended, but they get nervous or scared to talk about quote unquote the deep things of life. Like I remember walking up, speaking to this one lady, and we just was casual conversation. Then I just started asking about her dreams, and she's like, "Whoa, that's kind of deep." And I was like, "Why is talking about our dreams deep in a conversation with somebody you just met? Like, why is that deep? Shouldn't we be talking about our dreams? Shouldn't we be talking about our goals, where we're going?" But if you talk to most people and you talk like that, because I've come to realize we're locked in this world where we don't even get to dream. So that's why we're chasing this thing called happiness, right? We're looking for these outside sources, this money, these relationships, these things to make us truly happy, and that's not where happiness truly resides, because happiness, or your rhythm of happiness, comes from you. It comes from your rhythm. It comes from your sound. It comes from the sound you make, right? Because we all make a sound. And this is referring back to what we were talking about earlier in the week, about your words and things that you speak, right? Because we realize that what words are sounds, and sounds create things. And that's just the law, that's just the order, that's just the way things are. So when we're looking to pursue happiness, you know, what thoughts, what sounds are you producing? What rhythmic vibrations are you putting out into this world to bring you happiness from the inside out? because happiness will never be found from the outside in. And we hear this all the time and we know this. No, I take that back. We don't know this because to know and not to do is still not to know, right? So you can say, oh, yeah, I know happiness comes from the inside, but yet you steadily chasing stuff on the outside. Why is that? That's because you really don't know. Because if you knew, then you would begin to change that and chase happiness from the inside. But it comes with a rhythm, right? We know scientifically, right? I'm going to the whiteboard. We know scientifically what frequencies or vibrations, right? The smaller the frequency, right? The higher the vibration. That means you're vibrating on a higher level. Your sound is at a higher level. So you can only attract things in this frequency, right? So if you start thinking other thoughts, the frequency is lower, you can attract whatever's from that range to that range, right? Just like in these higher frequencies. These are the things you attract. And then if you want to begin to speak really low things or think really low things, you get to attract more. Look how they go in procession. The higher the frequency, the narrower the path. The lower the frequency, the wider the path. So that means you're able to collect more of the things you really don't want compared to the things that you really do want, because you got to bring your thoughts to a higher level. You got to bring your thoughts to a higher frequency, right? And then those thoughts are expressed as what? A sound coming out of your mouth, the words you speak. When you really begin to tap in and begin to listen to your own rhythm, and you get to know your rhythm and how you truly sound, you can begin to really distinguish between yourself and how other people sound, right? So then when you begin to have a conversation with a person, you can begin to hear how they sound through the words they speak. That's why when you hear most people in these arenas say, I can hear the first 5-10 seconds I talk with you, I can pretty much tell you who you are, right? No longer than 5 minutes in the conversation. With the right questions, you can see where pretty much somebody is. Because eventually what's in their heart or what's their programming will eventually come out, even though they think they're hiding it. You can't hide it. Because what's in you will come out of you. It will be revealed. How you think will be revealed. You know, whether other people see it or not, that's one thing. But those who know can pick those things up and see that. So when we're talking about finding your rhythm of happiness, you know, you got to find out what things make you happy. A lot of times we look at what other people are doing. We always hear this, right? We always see what other people are doing to make them happy and thinking that's what's supposed to make us happy. And that's not always necessarily true. Yes, are there times where you'll see somebody doing something and that inspires you, and yes, you want to do it? And that may be leading you to where you're supposed to be, but sometimes people get stuck in other people's versions of happiness instead of their own rhythm of happiness. So in order for you to begin to find your own rhythm of happiness and begin to understand that the thing that you want to attract out here, you have to begin to feel on the inside as if it already is, or as it's already to be, right? Because we've been given one of the greatest gifts on the planet. We get to be co-creators. We get to take out of the unseen and bring it into the seen realm. Like, that's powerful. And you do that with your thoughts and your sound, the words you speak. if people would really just begin to meditate on that right there, that you literally, with your thoughts and the sound of your voice, you can pull stuff from the unseen realm to the seen realm. And that's how powerful we truly are. And this world is hell bent, or I would say, a lot of the conditioning is hell bent on making you feel worthless or valueless, or that you don't deserve good things, or that you don't deserve better things. And when I'm talking about better things, I'm talking about that rhythm of happiness. Because when you're in the rhythm of happiness, you might not be that person that needs 10 million, or I mean $1 billion to be what you've been called to do in this world, right? Some people are called to that larger wealth. Not to say that you can't have it. You can have whatever you want to have. You can have whatever you think. You can have whatever you speak. But make sure it's coming from your rhythm and not somebody else's rhythm. So whatever it is you want to create in this world, because your true prosperity comes from your growth and your contribution back to this world. That's why our mentor, Mr. Michael Dalco, is giving us this challenge. He's saying, go give your gift to the world. Go contribution back to the world. Go let the world hear your sound. Go let the world hear your rhythm. You know, it's amazing. A lot of people, like I in my mind, I believe I can sing, but when I actually sing, I know I can't sing. Right? It's been proven. If I start to sing, you'll understand why I say I can't sing. Well, I ain't gonna say I can't sing. I can sing, but the sounds I make don't sound too good to my ears. I'll put it that way, in other people's ears. But when I was in church, I think about all the people that quote unquote say they can't sing. But amazing thing happens when a group of people who can't quote unquote sing, but when they all begin to sing as one, something beautiful happens. You hear something called harmony. And it doesn't matter if nobody in that crowd, according to somebody else's ear, sounds good. They could all sound bad, but when they all begin to sing as one, something amazing happens and something called harmony exists. So when you begin to get your rhythm of happiness, you begin to create harmony in your life. And what is harmony? Harmony is balance, because that's what happiness leads to. Harmony. Because it's about that peace. It's about balance. It's about being both expressive and non-expressive. It's about being able to move in both worlds, but knowing you're moving in both worlds. It's not the point where one world is pulling you and the other one is pulling you, and you have no control. Like most of us, we're not strong enough to handle both of the pulls. So when you begin to find your rhythm of happiness, you get strong enough to handle the pull of both worlds, both realities, this natural reality and this spiritual reality, because yes, you do live in a different world as well as this physical world. We know this because everything we see as you look around, trees, chairs, this whiteboard, came from a thought. So we know that's already proven. So when it comes to your rhythm of happiness, what thoughts are you producing? What sounds are you making? Are you always murmuring and complaining? Are you always discussing the problem and not the solution? What is your focus? Where is your microscope? Is your microscope on the is it on the problem, or is your microscope on the solution? Because whatever you're focused on, that's the vibration you're going to create, and that's what you're going to keep attracting in your life. And that's why it takes the effort of you focusing in on your sound, your rhythm, the rhythm you make. And then you begin to hear what you're saying, and then you can begin to change those sounds to a higher sound to attract different things, better things, to bring you to that happy place. Because you have to get to the happy place internally before you can attract that happy place externally. So while we're in our pursuit, our rhythm of happiness, we also got to realize that we're on a journey. There really is no destination. It's just continued growth. It's just continued, uh, it's growth and contentment at the same time, right? You never want to get too slack, but at the same time, you don't want to put the weight of the world on your shoulders. So it's always going to be continued growth. And at any given time, the better we get knowing where we're at, where our thinking is, because why? Our thinking and our feeling, right, are tied together. Those two brains, right? You got the head brain and the gut brain. Science is now coming to prove that they believe that the gut brain is more powerful than the thinking brain, because this one is where the feeling is. It's more powerful, they say. I don't know, but hey, maybe because we're feeling beings in this realm. It's not deep. That's just what it is. It's who we are. And I think once we change our perception of this thing between being shallow and deep when it comes to our lives, like, oh, that stuff's too deep to talk about. Why is it too deep to talk about? I know why. I get it. Wars have been created over it. Words. Look how powerful words are so powerful, people go into war over words. You can tell me a word, you can make a sound of a particular word, and it can cause a war. Or you can speak another word and you can help somebody heal their life. Or you can speak another word and create your life. Or you can speak another word and create whatever you choose to create. You know, wisdom has shown us that we have the ability to create good or bad, if that's what you want to call it. It's all based on your perception and how you see. Because what one person sees as bad is not bad, and what one person sees as good is not good. So it's all based on your perception. So what's your perception of your rhythm of happiness? What's your perception of happiness? What's your rhythm? What's your cadence? How do you sound? How do you speak? What noise do you make? Do you know your noise? Do you know the sound you make in this world yet? That's the journey I've been on for the longest. I finally got to that place where I know my sound and I'm comfortable with who I am. And now it's a matter of manifesting who I am from this point forward, because I've already manifested the person I thought I was back then, and it didn't come out to be too much. He was stuck in a cycle. But now that I'm aware of the cycle, I can change that cycle, and now I can begin to attract from this place of happiness. Because this will still, I can still see this place as happiness down here. And see, that's the trick. You got to realize, how do you want to, what word will you use to describe this phase down here? This could just be a low vibration to happiness, or you could see it as a vibration of feeling depressed. See, if you use that word depressed, you're going to stay in this frequency of depression. But you can say, hey, I'm still happy. I'm just in the lower realms of happiness instead of the higher realms of happiness. So even in quote unquote those lower places of happiness, you can still be happy no matter what's going on. Even though all this out here externally is showing you something else, you have to begin to call yourself happy right here. You got to change it. No matter what that word is, lack, you can change to abundance. I'm just at that low level of abundance, because we can look all around and see abundance. That's all there is abundance. It's just what level of abundance are you vibrating from? A low level, mid, or high, right? Bass, mids, treble, right? So if you want to move up, you got to start focusing in on those higher sounds, those greater words, those higher words. How's your day? I'm great. I choose to be happy today. I'm happy. Even though I just got in a car wreck, I choose to be happy. Why? Because I can choose to be happy, or I can choose to be angry. I get to choose. I get to choose my thoughts. I get to choose. But hey, I don't want these videos to go too long. So this is Dwayne Taylor, aka Coach. Thank you for coming to this lab session. You never know what we're gonna pull off the shelf. So lab session number 4 in the books. To my Kingsmen, salute. To my gold gladiators, Au. To the tribe, 1. To them seekers, keep seeking. Flow, love, shine, be. Keep toasting to that good life. Live long and prosper, and always keep it 100. Hey, I appreciate y'all. For all those who tuned in live, and for all those who may see this recorded message, I appreciate you. Man, it's an honor to serve you and to just give my contribution back to the world to help somebody else. So hopefully these messages will help somebody along their journey as I continue along my journey to find that rhythm of happiness. Y'all stay up. What?